Stonehenge covered in powder paint by Just Stop Oil. There's some blood in it today, ladies and gentlemen. The rage boner is threatening to burst through my shorts today. It's like a baby's arm grasping a tangerine. I've never been so engorged. Not for weeks. Not for weeks. I hate these people. My loathing for them knows no bounds. One of the main reasons why is because I went to Stonehenge. Probably when I was in my early 20s, I visited Stonehenge, and I wasn't allowed within 50 foot of it. You think it'd be good to go to Stonehenge for a visit and get a picture took next to the stones, and there's a massive fence around it, and if you're law-abiding citizen who paid in, you have to stand like 70 or 80 yards away. Like, you know, basically you can get nowhere near it. But if you're a foreign-born communist, you can go over there, accost the nice old lady that's trying to, the volunteers that are trying to keep the place clean and tidy, and then proceed to throw oil-based products all over it. To say I am angry does a disservice to the word angry. In fact, I can sum up what I think the response should be with a single sentence. Darling, fetch the shovel. Or, even easier, with a single sound effect. Right then, by now you've already seen the news. I'm sure you've seen the footage as well. If you live under a rock and you haven't, allow me. Might as well see what's going on before you fly into a rage like me. Honestly, watching the old lady trying to remove them it boiled my piss in the bag. Yeah, so what you saw there is a big foreign man casually swatting the little old lady off his arm and doing as he pleases, whilst another imported communist, looking at the names of these reprobates, did the exact same thing to one of the most ancient monuments in the United Kingdom that you, after paying to visit, are not allowed anywhere near. And you can be a member of the National Trust. What do they think to tell you if you said, can I just get a little bit closer for a photo? No. Do you want arresting? Try it. If you're a member of the National Trust, next time you're there, jump the fence, walk over and try and get a decent picture. Don't even have to touch it. Just stay 10 foot away and try and get a picture taken and see what happens. Because they know they'll be able to fine you and criminalise you and take your DNA and take your fingerprints. Carry on Tony Blair's little plan of getting everybody in the nation on a little database so they can, as I keep talking about, aggressively persecute the tax-paying populace while ignoring the criminality of the people who they like. I only take solace in the fact that in this occasion it was a pair of hippies and not some rastas with meat cleavers, because it's usually them that get treated with kid gloves by the authorities. It really does enrage me. And yet, to follow up with the two knobheads that did it, Rajan just took action alongside Niam at Stonehenge earlier today. Rajan, yeah. Well, he's not going to care, is he? Because it wasn't Rajan's ancestors who built the bloody thing, and I dare say Rajan's never paid to visit it himself like I have. And there's the other reprobate, Niam, a student from the University of Oxford, don't you know? Yes, they're all Tarquins or Guinevere's or Niam, and they're all students at Oxford and Cambridge, yes, because it's a wonderfully middle-class pursuit, don't you know? Yeah, you know what else is a wonderfully middle-class pursuit? Being terrible at maths, because it doesn't matter if everybody in the whole of the UK lived in a wigwam, walked everywhere, and consisted of a diet of cricket paste and puddle water. It wouldn't make any difference to the climate. So this is performative virtue signaling by some of the dumbest people on planet Earth. And it's time for the kid gloves to come off. Because you know what I'd do? I'd do a root cause analysis on this at this point, declare it a national security issue, and find out who is funding them and who's paying for this activism. Because if it's someone let's say, I'm just putting some straws in the wind here. Let's say, I don't know, a fat, evil, baggy-faced, Baron Greenback-looking megalomaniacal psychopath If it just happened to be someone like that, who'd already said he was spending billions to fight climate change, and I can't even read the first half of that sentence for laughing at it. If, say, it was someone like that, I'd say we can pass some new legislation and send the boys round his house. Because I've had enough, and I think everybody else has had enough, looking at the Twitter comments. Another thing to do is sack the nice, pleasant old lady that is currently working at Stonehenge. Hire a big, burly bootneck with a baton gun and tell him if any dirty, smelly hippie gets within 100 yards of these stones, you have the permission of the state to shoot them in the eye with the baton gun, throw them in the back of the meat wagon, and possibly give them a bit of a shoeing outside of the eyes of the general public before telling the judge he slipped on a bit of loose carpet in the station, my lord. We need to get back to the 1980s, the good old days, when if you slapped a copper, you got a slap back. And then nobody had to worry about a court case because you both agreed to drop the charges against the other. I like that. I like that style. I like that style of eye for an eye policing, and I advocate a return to it. Save a lot of money on paperwork and lawyers and legal fees, won't it? So there you have it. That's my thesis. I think it's time to get medieval on these arseholes. I've had enough. I've massively had enough. Public opinion seems to suggest everybody's had enough. We can't have a situation where 90% of the public seems to despise these people and the state keeps treating them with kid gloves. In fact, how about this? Instead of replacing the Justice Secretary with a British politician, I think we should replace them with Marcellus Wallace and allow him to come up with a solution for dealing with these types of people.
I'm gonna call a couple of hard pipe-hitting to go to work on the homes here with a pair of pliers and a blowtorch. You hear me talking, hillbilly boy?
Sounds like a plan to me, Marcellus. You'll do for me, son. Anyway, that's all I've got for today. Hope you all enjoyed that. Let me know what you would advocate for a suitable crime and punishment for these people. How many times you think George Soros should get took up in a free helicopter? And let me know what you think. All right, thanks for watching. See you all very soon. Toodle pip.